Rangers have just employed Russell Martin as their new manager, and this has prompted Kris Boyd to make a very embarrassing Celtic comparison. We will go over this in today's video, whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Gustav Lagerbielke's time at FC Twente is over, with the Dutch side deciding not to bring him back. Instead, they are trying to re-sign former captain Robin Prupper from Rangers. Lagerbielke spent last season on loan in the Eredivisie after Prupper left for Rangers. He made 32 appearances for Twente, scoring twice and setting up 3 more, but his form dipped late in the season. Twente chief Arnold Bruggink previously confirmed they likely won't be keeping the Swedish defender and said Twente are targeting a defensive leader, which they appear to believe Prupper can be. Prupper had a tough time in Scotland after his £1.5 million move, but Twente want him back. They think his experience and leadership are what the team needs right now. Celtic now need to find a new club for Lagerbielke. The 25-year-old joined from IF Elfsborg for around £3 million in 2023, but has barely played under Brendan Rodgers. With players like Cameron Carter-Vickers, Liam Scales and Austin Trusty ahead of him, he's unlikely to get many chances at Celtic Park. The Hoops are reportedly open to selling him, though finding the right club may be tricky. Lagerbielke has shown flashes of quality, but with Twente out of the picture, Celtic must look elsewhere for a solution this summer. Now for the main story. The Ibrox optimism train is gathering steam again, and predictably, Kris Boyd is the driver. After years of confidently proclaiming every new Rangers manager to be a guaranteed success, the former striker has now taken things a step further, likening incoming boss Russell Martin to none other than Martin O'Neill. Martin has yet to manage a game for Rangers, but that hasn't stopped Boyd from laying down comparisons to one of Celtic's most iconic managers. The ex-defender, who had a brief spell at Ibrox in 2018, will now go head-to-head with Brendan Rodgers, the same man whose Celtic side schooled him during that spell. Boyd's take comes before a ball has been kicked under Martin, raising eyebrows not only for its timing but for the sheer scale of the comparison. O'Neill's arrival in 2000 sparked a historic period of dominance at the Hoops, delivering silverware and transforming the club. To liken a completely unproven Martin to a managerial giant of Celtic's modern era is, by any measure, an extraordinary leap. He said, "We have seen it before. You go back to Dick Advocat's team, totally wiped the floor with Celtic, then Martin O'Neill arrived, and they wiped the floor with that Rangers team, which was a good Rangers team. You look at Rangers' problems, it didn't come against Celtic, it was against everyone else. If Rangers can eradicate the results against everybody else, and start to build momentum early and start winning the games against the rest, then the Glasgow derby will take care of itself." I have seen bigger point gaps than this turned around. It's not like England, where you might have one big team who's struggling, but there are another 3 or 4 who are doing okay, and you need to overturn the 3 or 4. For Rangers, they only need to overtake Celtic for it to be a success, but it's going to be a lot harder than you think, Boyd concluded. Despite the enthusiasm from Boyd and others in the media, the scale of the task ahead for Martin cannot be underestimated. Celtic remain champions for a reason, and Rodgers will be well aware of the narrative being pushed across the city. Motivation won't be lacking when the sides meet. Rodgers, who has already dismantled Martin's Rangers as a player in 2018, will no doubt relish the chance to do the same from the touchline. The experience, depth, and winning mentality at Celtic give them the upper hand, no matter the noise from outside. Comparisons to O'Neill carry weight because of what he achieved, not what was expected. If Martin wants to earn that kind of respect, he'll need to deliver silverware and compete consistently at the top level. Anything less, and Boyd's bold claims will join a long list of premature proclamations. For now, the focus remains on the football. Celtic will quietly prepare under Rodgers while the headlines swirl around Ibrox. As ever in Glasgow, talk is cheap, and the pitch will have the final say. In other news, Kieran Tierney's impending return to Celtic has earned the approval of Scotland boss Steve Clarke, who says the defender's happiness is the most important thing as he prepares for international duty. Scotland are in action tonight against Iceland. He is set to rejoin his boyhood club this summer after agreeing a pre-contract move from Arsenal 5 years on from his £25 million switch to the Premier League. While Celtic have yet to make a formal announcement via their social media channels, the deal was confirmed in the club's interim financial statement to shareholders. Speaking ahead of Scotland's friendly against Iceland at Hampden, Clark welcomed the move. Kieran's happy to be coming back up to Scotland to play. If Kieran's happy, then I'm happy. More recently, it's been the injury situation with Kieran. The one last summer stopped him having more game time. The 6 months before that, he'd been in Spain with Sociedad and done really well, and it was good at Arsenal that he stayed and ended up the way it ended up, by getting back in the team, getting regular minutes off the bench, he concluded. Arsenal have already bid farewell to the 28-year-old whose relationship with Mikel Arteta never quite clicked despite his strong rapport with the Gunners' support. Back at Celtic, Tierney will look to rediscover the form that made him a standout during his first spell in Glasgow, and Clark will be watching closely with a view to getting his key defender back to full sharpness ahead of the Euros next summer. Who will deputise KT Riemens to be seen? Greg Taylor looks like he could be away this summer, with PAOK confident of securing the fullback on a free contract. In other news, Tottenham Hotspur would have to shell out around £4 million if they decide to part ways with Ange Postecoglou, according to a report in The Telegraph. Despite guiding Spurs to their first European trophy in over 40 years with a dramatic Europa League win over Manchester United, Postecoglou's future remains in limbo following a dire domestic season that saw the North London club finish 17th in the Premier League. The Australian is still waiting to learn his fate, with club chiefs, including chairman Daniel Levy, yet to hold post-season talks. Postecoglou has spoken recently about the shift in mindset that winning a trophy brings, something he believes will be pivotal in helping Spurs push on next season, particularly with Champions League football now back on the agenda. However, should Levy decide to make a change, it won't come cheap. The Telegraph claims sacking Postecoglou would cost around £4 million in compensation. That figure is before factoring in a £2 million bonus due for delivering European silverware. For a club trying to rebuild and move forward, the financial and footballing gamble of sacking the former Celtic boss who delivered success in the form of a trophy in his second season after finishing 5th in his first. Lastly, Celtic have unveiled a fresh range of Adidas footwear ahead of the summer, continuing the rollout of new merchandise following their recently renewed kit deal with the German sportswear giant. The trainers, priced at £100, were released on Thursday morning and mark the latest addition to a growing collection. Don't forget £4.80 delivery fee. It comes on the heels of the club's new £30 million deal with Adidas, a partnership that has seen Celtic lean further into branded releases beyond just the matchday kits. The new home shirt has already hit the shelves, with away and third strips expected to follow in the coming months. Training gear is also due for release, making it a busy period for retail but a costly one for supporters. Season ticket holders have already been hit with increased prices for the 2025 to 2026 campaign, and this latest drop adds to what's shaping up to be an expensive summer for fans looking to stay fully kitted out. While the club will argue the new Adidas deal brings financial clout and global reach, there's no doubt that match-going fans are being asked to dig deep, both to watch the team and to wear the badge. As always, demand is expected to be high, but the growing price tag of being a Celtic supporter in the modern era won't have gone unnoticed. What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.